Shanti sister, how are you?
Om Shanti, brother. I'm fine. And you?
Yeah, I'm fine too, sister. So today we are going to see the last part of 23 July 1969 Murli.
Hmm.
Um, so continue from what we have left, sister.
Last class, the main points, in second,
Mm.
brother. We have to
Okay.
stabilize ourselves in point form. That is one main point.
Mm.
And another one is we have to put break for the waste thoughts and
And
steer
also
the thoughts to.
steer the way.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
that's very important.
uh.
Um,
Then today, do not think that you will earn an income when there are not so many difficulties. They will adopt an even larger form day by day, but
maybe.
even while in those situations, your stage needs to be very strong. This is why you have to pay attention to the time. Be aware of your own form and then also pay attention to your stage. Acha.
Super. So don't think you can earn an income later by remembering Baba because the situation is going to become more and more difficult. So if you can't remember now, you can never remember him again. So the time that has passed is not going to come again. So you got to pay attention to every single second. You should take the maximum benefit from every single second. For that, you need to pay attention to both your form, whether I'm in a point form, and also your stage, whether it's double light, filled with happiness and peace. You got to pay attention to that. So this is the time. You need to pay full attention to earn income for yourself and for others. Okay, sister, continue.
Baba has told you about the crown of responsibility. So, what is the throne? The throne of humility, and by sitting on his throne, you will be able to do all your work accurately. The Shakti army was given the throne of remaining constant, and the Pandavas were given the throne of being humble. Be seated on the throne, and by wearing the crown of further responsibility, create your future status. Do not come down from the throne. If you do your task while seated on the throne, the task will be successful. Look at the whole day. What are the four things that are always with you? Baba is asking you about common physical things. Firstly, you have to have a chair with you. Secondly, a pen. Thirdly, a file. And fourthly, all the running around that you do. Change all of these four things from mundane things to spiritual. When you sit on a chair, remember the throne. When you pick up a pen, remember the lotus flower. Use the pen whilst being a lotus flower. When you see the file, remember your account. What would Babdada be signing in my file now? And the running around is going up and down the ladder. Practice this and then see whether you are able to stabilize your intellect wherever you wish or not. Just as you are able to direct your feet wherever you want, in the same way, your intellect will become like your feet. You now have to transform the intellect from mundane thinking to spiritual. There will then be transformation in your stage too.
So now Baba is giving us both the throne and crown. So everybody knows that crown during confluence age is the responsibility to serve every brother and sister. That's our crown that we wear now. And what's the throne? One is Baba has already told in many Murlis that it is Baba's heart throne. So when you are true to Baba, then you will be seated on Baba's throne. You should not hide anything from Baba. You should renounce everything. You should not be attached to anything. Only then you will be seated in the Baba's heart throne. But here in this Murli, Baba is saying it's the throne of humility.
Humility.
So when you are humble, only then you will be seated on the heart throne also. And also when you are humble, you will be able to do all your work accurately, because you will not it is because you become arrogant due to anything that we commit many sins. On the other hand, if you are humble, then your mind will be very clear in deciding what is right and what is wrong. So that's why Baba says you should always be seated on the throne of humility. Especially he is saying this to Pandavas, because Pandavas, that is brothers, are famous for getting arrogant compared to women. So you should always be seated in the throne of being humble. And Shakti army, for them Baba has given the throne of remaining constant. They should not fluctuate. They should always be constant. And brothers, they should always be humble. That's the reason he is asking Pandavas to keep Shaktis at the front. Because during those times, women, they were kept indoors. They were not allowed to go out even to study. So in that time, Baba is making the true revolution of keeping the girls in the front. They are the head of this organization also. All administrative heads are female. So this is the only organization. Well, all administrative heads are female. You can't find anything similar to this in the entire world, in the entire Kalpa. So you should always be seated on the throne of humility and also wear the crown of more and more responsibility. So you have the responsibility to give this knowledge to others. Once you are done with giving this knowledge to those around you, then you have to wear the crown of further responsibility, so that you have to give more to those who haven't got it yet. Maybe they don't belong to your state, to your country. You should also be, because we are Vishwa Kalyankari, world service, not service of only our center. We should be able to serve the whole world. So till then, you should not keep the crown aside. It should always be on your head. It should always be remembered. So that's why when Hanumanji opened his chest, we are seeing not only Lord Ram but also Sita. Lord Ram represents God Shiva and Sita represents service. Because we have to rescue the Sita from Ravan's kingdom. All brothers and sisters souls are Sitas. So that's why it is always there in his mind. But they think mind is here, so they have shown that it is in his heart. So when you are wearing the crown of further responsibility, that's when you will be able to create your future status. You can claim the higher status. The more responsibility you take and fulfill, you will be able to claim the higher status. So that's what Baba says. So Baba says, in order to fulfill your responsibility, you should never get down from this throne of humility. So if you are not humble, then you will be arrogant. Then nobody will be doing service with you. Then you can't fulfill your responsibility. Because more than what we say, they will see how we behave, how our words are, whether there is arrogance or the pure love. So that's why Baba says, make sure you are always seated on this throne. So that is represented in Mahabharata when During the war between Karan and Arjun, Karan's chariot wheel gets broken or got stuck into a hole. So he gets down to push that away. So that's when Krishna orders Arjuna to hit arrow on him. So he says, no, this is against Dharam. Arjuna, you should also come down. Only then you have the right to fight with me. But Krishna says, no, you should not get down. So that represents the throne of humility. That's where he is seated. But when we see the serial, we don't understand these things because God asks us to be seated on the seat of humility all the time. Only then your task will be successful. That's very important. You can find this particular attitude in all successful people of all fields. They will be humble. That's the thing. So we can see it in Ambani. You can never see arrogance on his face. He's always humble. Even his sons, they are also humble. So that's the reason they have skyrocketed. So you have to check throughout the whole day, do I have all these four things with me? So Baba is comparing the physical things with the spiritual things. Even in Quran it is mentioned, I will give you the example of the worldly things to make you understand the spiritual things. So, so now Baba says it's very common for any office going person to have a chair, to have a pen, to have a file, and also he will be walking here and there from one table to another table to get the task done. Be it bank or any office, you will find these things. So this is what you do for your Laukik job. Now you have to convert Laukik into Alaukik. How do you do that? So that's where Hindi plays a magic. So Baba says, when you sit on a chair, remember the throne. That's where we sit. We sit on the throne, but now in confluence age, we are sitting on the throne of humility. Make sure are you humble. So that's one of the reasons why we have to spin the wheel of self-realization every 1 hour at least once. So that we will also be remembering the recent Murli points. That will take us to the right path if we ever go away from it. So when you sit, make sure you are sitting on the seat of humility. Then, obviously, when you are sitting in a throne, okay. When you are sitting on a throne, obviously you will have a crown also. So you should also think about your responsibility of serving everybody through your words, mind, and action. Whether I'm doing that. So that's missing here, but luckily Baba has touched us. So you should also be remembering your crown of responsibility. Then, when you take the pen, in Hindi, pen means kalam. Lotus means kamal. So just if you rearrange the letters, kalam becomes kamal. So when you take the kalam in your hand, you should remember the kamal. Whether I am detached, like a lotus flower. Although it lives in a dirty pond, it's rooted there, but the flower will extend way above the water. So whether my stage is in such a detached stage, like a lotus flower. So while writing, you have to be detached. While being a lotus flower, use the pen. Use kalam, being a kamal. So then, when you are seeing the file, remember your account with Baba. Baba
Mm.
has all our accounts. What's he
Mm.
going to sign in my file? Pass
Mm.
or fail? Pass with honor. So
Mm.
remember that. So
Mm.
when you're so these are the easy tactics for easy yoga,
Mm.
for constant yoga. Because
Mm.
once your mind is always within the remembrance of the alaukic things, you are
Mm.
it is considered to
Convert,
be the remembrance.
yeah, convert all those things to spiritual things.
Spiritual things, yes. So when you are when you are worried about what Baba is going to sign now, you will be very cautious about your every act you perform. Then running around, when you run from table to table to get your things signed, remember climbing up and down the ladder. You should be a master, you should be a child. When to become a master, when to become a child. So you have to remember that. So you need to practice. So this is for those who are using uh, chair, pen, file, and running around.
Mm.
But if you are
Mm.
doing something else, you should be able to make it into alokik.
Ah.
So, for example, when we are taking rest, lying on bed, when you see the fan, spin the wheel of discuss of
Yeah.
self-realization,
Yeah, super.
Sudarshan Chakra. So,
Mm.
for every act, so when you eat
Mm.
food, I'm giving diet to my soul.
Mm.
So, for that, I have to think about what Baba says. Remember that.
Mm.
And also, I'm feeding my Baba so that it gets alokik
Mm.
instead of just being laukik. So, everything while you are wearing the dress, uh, or while you are wearing the makeup or wearing jewels, I'm wearing
Mm.
the jewel of knowledge or divine characters, particular character, any character, purity, humbleness, being kind, whatever. So you have to, whatever you do, your mind should be remembering what
Mm.
Baba has said. That's the thing.
Mm.
And unfortunately, when I was a child, I was a fan of an actor. So whatever friends speak,
Mm.
immediately I will come up with the dialogue from one of his movies.
Ah.
I'm so addicted to him.
Ah.
So now I'm wondering. So that's the same thing we have to do with Baba now. When something happens, we should be able to remember what Baba says.
Mm.
So that's the thing. So that's how we become fully spiritual, fully
Mm.
soul conscious. So by having this practice constantly, you can stabilize your intellect wherever you want. Do you want to
Mm.
stabilize your intellect and mind in Parandam? You can. If you want to
Mm.
stabilize it in the subtle world, you can.
Mm.
If you want to stabilize it in the temple, in your deity form, you can. You can
Mm.
spread vibrations. Anyway, in any form, you have to spread vibrations, positive vibrations all the time. And also, if you want to be in heaven as Sri Lakshmi or Sri Narayan, you can for however long you want. So for that, you need the concentration power also. For that, you
Mm.
should keep your mind free from waste thoughts. That's why Baba says, don't listen to anything.
Mm.
You should have the habit of not hearing whatever you listen, not seeing whatever you see. You should have that habit. So that will help both in Laukik life and Alaukik life. Um, so Baba says, if you want to go to somewhere, your feet automatically goes there. Likewise, if you want your intellect to go somewhere, it should also behave like your feet. If your feet is totally under your control, then why not your mind and intellect? You should also keep it under your full control. Wherever you want your intellect to go, it should go only there. It should not wander somewhere else. So that's the reason they have compared our intellect to horse. Horse should be going where the horse rider wants it to go. It should not go on its own. So you are the rider of this horse, which is our body. So including your physical organs and mind and intellect should be under your full control. So for that, you should transform the intellect from thinking of Laukik into Alaukik. That's the thing. Instead of seeing your wife as your wife, see her as the Satyug prince. Prince, not even princess. You should be able to convert. You should be able to see their future form. So you will have respect. You should, and she is a girl now. You convert her into a guy in Satyug. So you will have respect and you will have no attraction at all. So that's the thing. And you can convert them, in addition to see them as a soul, you can also do like this. Because Baba asks us to see each other in the eternal form or the initial form. Initial form is the Devata form, deity form. Eternal form is the soul form. So you have to train your mind. You have to play with your mind like this so that it becomes so happy. Because we don't play with our mind like this, Maya takes full control of our mind and makes it wander. So when you are able to transform your Laukik thoughts into Alaukik thoughts, your stage will automatically be transformed from the lower stage to the highest stage. Yeah. Okay, sister. We can continue from here.
Then what is the speciality of the jewels in this gathering? One is that all of you are loving. Secondly, the majority of you have a surrendered intellect. Thirdly, you remain ready for service all the time. This is why you are ever ready. Now set all the jewels of all those specialities into your crown of responsibilities you have received. Only then will you be able to accurately fulfill the responsibilities. These virtues are the jewels of the crown. That is, they are the beauty which you must keep eternally. Whatever actions you perform, others seeing, you will do the same. It is essential to remember one slogan: give love to the young ones and regard to the elder ones. You have to give love and you then receive regard. Now forget this. This gathering is like gold already, but further beauty is always added to gold. For that, now and then, Madhuban should be the place for the gathering. With the advice of the instrument sisters, there will be gatherings from time to time. There should be new.
So Baba considers all the children to be the jewels of his eyes. So this is the gathering of jewels. And Baba says there's a speciality in this gathering. Actually, many specialities are there. Especially, he's speaking about three specialities. One is everybody is loving. Second, Majority of you have a surrendered intellect. Not everybody, but majority of you have surrendered intellect. And third, you are always ever ready for service. So Baba says, put all these specialities into the crown of responsibility. Usually, crown will be made of gold. In addition, they will imbibe some jewels on it, some diamond or costly stones into it to add beauty to the crown. Likewise, you are wearing the crown of responsibility. To that, you have to add these jewels of being loving, having surrendered intellect, being ever ready. So make sure when you are doing service, whether your words, your eyes, your thoughts have these three specialities. Whether they are loving, whether they are ever ready, whether they have surrendered intellect. You can also say it as being humble. If you have surrendered, then we don't have regard for ourselves. So you should be able to sacrifice everything. So only when you add these specialities into the crown of responsibility, you can fulfill your responsibilities accurately, successfully. Because these virtues, divine qualities, are the jewels of the crown of responsibility. Because Baba doesn't only see the service, but also see how you did it. It's the nectar of knowledge. How you deliver it. Even in marriage hall, when you serve food, people are not only going to see what you are going to serve, but also how you are going to serve. In Ambani's marriage, he is the richest person of India, but he himself is serving to the villages. So that's what receives the blessings from the village people. He can very well make somebody else serve it. They will still be happy. But when they see Ambani himself is serving the poor, they will get his heartfelt blessings. So that's why to receive the blessings from those whom you serve, make sure your words are loving, you have surrendered intellect, showing no arrogance, and you are ever ready for doing any kind of service. So this is the beauty that you should keep eternally. Make sure you are always loving, always ever ready, always surrendered. So, and also keep it in your mind, whatever I perform, however I perform, people are just going to copy and do the same. So just like whatever Isha Yoga Sadhguru is doing, other Hatha Yogis are following that. If he says during Shivaratri, one should keep their spine erect so that cosmic rays enter them, everybody follows them. It doesn't matter whether he says is right or wrong, but he is guiding everybody. Likewise, through our actions, everybody should be following that. When you are divine, especially in this Kali Yuga, you will be seen distinctly. You will be sparkle. So people attention will automatically be drawn towards something that's sparkling. So they will also imitate you. That's how we transform, we bestow these divine qualities to others. So you should always remember that whatever I do, they are going to just do that. Or else in the end, they will say, even he did like this, she did like this. They should not complain like that. So that's why Baba says you should always remember one slogan. Give love to the young ones, respect to the elder ones. So, to whom Baba is saying this? To the center in charge souls, especially. Because those who come, no matter what their physical age is, they are young kids, just becoming Baba's child. So you should be very loving to them. If you treat them indifferently, differently based on their status or money, then they are not going to give respect to you. Only when you give love, selfless love, they will give respect to you. So you have to give love, then receive regard. Never forget this. So this is the gathering of gold. But gold has to be further uh, decorated with precious stones to make it more attractive. So for that, you have to imbibe those three qualities of love, being ever ready, and also um, and surrender
Secondly,
the
the
intellect.
majority.
Yeah,
Second on the
loving,
surrender the
surrender the
intellect.
intellect, and ever ready. And also, you should see mainly whether I am loving. That's very important. Never forget this. For that, Madhuban should be the place for the gathering of such jewels. So you should seek the advice from the instrument sisters. There will be the gatherings from time to time. So obviously we will be going visiting Madhuban at least once a year so that we can pick up the divine qualities from each other. Based on the advice of the instrument sisters, there will be bhatti, many things, Bab Dada Meech, everything will be there. Okay, sister, continue from.
There should be newness in the exhibitions. At the moment, people just think that the knowledge here is good. When they hear what you have to tell them, they should think without asking any questions that they have found as any easy path. Keep this aim while making the exhibitions, and the topics should also be attractive. It can be the introduction to the Supreme Soul. You have to bring closer the people who run away from you, whether they are people with religious ideas or any other kind of people. You must follow up the exhibitions. You will not receive success without following them up. Just as you have done service in the museums, so you also have to follow up those. You must maintain contact with them. You must call them from time to time. You must maintain a good relationship with them so that they have the feeling of a family. Only then will there be success in service.
Service.
Acha.
So Baba always loved the word newness. He always wants something new because people also expect newness in everything. So everything has become like that nowadays. So when we were kids, the movie halls, they were entirely different from what it is now. It's like five-star hotel now. So Kali Yugis, they are adapting newness in everything. So we Sangam Yugis, we should also be able to adapt newness in whatever we do. So you have to think about it. What newness can I bring so that people get so attracted, so that they not only think that this knowledge is good, but also they should immediately confirm that this is the easiest path. This is so easy. Actually, it is easy, but you should make them feel. So whatever I should say, so that it's very easy. That's very important. In addition to the museum attracting them with the costly statues, everything is happening. But Very important thing is how you explain them.
Mm.
That should make them feel this is the easiest path. I have found it. This is the true
Mm.
path. This is the direct path of God. So
Mm.
you should think about it. This should be your aim while doing exhibitions. And while you are speaking, your topic should also be attractive that others should not ignore it. Especially when we are doing, now we are in the internet age. So we can
Mm.
speak on several topics. The topic should be very interesting. We can take this advice for us also.
Mm.
So, so whether you are going to give the introduction of Supreme Soul or whatever
Mm.
it is, whoever have gone away from BKs by seeing your
Mm.
speech, they should come close again. So that's
Mm.
what you should do. So your topic should be after listening to you, they should say, "Oh, this is what Brahmakumaris is. I thought it
Mm.
was something else. I thought it was very difficult." So so they may be religious people or somebody else, but they should be able to come closer. For that, you need to do another thing. So after doing service in the museum, don't think your service is finished. You have to call them to remind what happened, sister. You said you will come to the center. What happened? Is there any problem? So you have to constantly call them so that at least to pay respect to your word, they will come. So once they come to the center, you should make sure the vibration is so attractive that they shouldn't want to leave at all. So it should be filled with such positive vibrations. So only then it will be successful. You should be able to maintain contact with them all the time so that they feel as if only then they will have this feeling of a family. After all, we are the family. Shiva is our father, Brahma is our mother. We are all his kids. We are family.
Mm.
So you should be in contact with them. Only then there will be success in service. And this is whether we follow it or not. One group of Christianity called Jehovah's Witness, they are following it. They will keep from every 3 months once, they will have a
Mm.
gathering.
Mm.
So they will be so dedicated. They will help each
Mm.
other. Uh, it will be very amazing.
Mm. Mm.
That's the reason it's getting increasing day by day, despite so many Christian sects. It's
Mm.
growing every day, and their essence of their knowledge is Jesus is not God. God is different from Jesus, which is our knowledge. Which is our
Mm.
knowledge. But they don't know how God looks like, but they just say Jesus is not God. That's it. So we should also, once you go to the Jehovah's Witness meeting, you will feel like a part of a family. As soon as they
Mm.
complete it, they will come voluntarily to speak with you. They'll spend at
Oh.
least 30 minutes after it's a 3 hour meeting. Once it is
Mm.
over, they won't go. They won't hurry. I think
Mm.
they have told that you should be there for the next 1 hour, spreading love with each other. That's how they
Mm.
behave. Even
Very nice.
yeah, we'll be the total stranger, but still everybody will come to us and speak and ask, and they will praise God.
Mm.
So we wouldn't want to leave it at all. So that's something that we should learn from them. And Baba is actually saying that.
Follow.
Yeah, follow that. Okay, Om Shanti sister, we have successfully completed this very big Murli. Om Shanti
Yeah.
sister. Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Thanks for watching, brothers and sisters. Om Shanti.